Folks. In this episode of The Tool Shed, I'm going to be speaking with Shane Strong, and the title of this particular conversation is Uncover Your Brilliance. And it's one of the things that I love to talk about all the time in the tool shed, in Builder's Business Black Belt, is the importance of not only working on how your mind works and constantly improving the ability to think differently and solve problems differently, but just constantly looking at different ways to look after, I guess, how you're thinking and invest as much time as you can in your genius is something that we call it. So getting better at certain things is obviously of value, and it can help you in all areas of life. And obviously, we're talking about your business, and it'll obviously help you in your business as well. Now, one of the things, without giving too much away, because I want Shane to introduce himself and tell us how he got to where he is at the moment, but we're going to be talking about Lego, which is going to be really good for the builders in the audience, bricks and all of that sort of stuff, but using it to increase or change how you think. And I'm fascinated to hear about that. So like to welcome to the conversation Shane. Welcome, Shane. Please, let's begin by telling us where you are and a little bit about the story as to how you got into what you're going to be talking about tonight.
Well, that's quite a journey, that one. I'm in Chelsea in Melbourne, and my background is that I was a chippy for a good 20 years. So I'd seen quite a few things working for builders and working for myself over the years, working directly for customers for probably the last good 10 years or so. Um, I dabbled in specializing. Went in franchise at one point. Do a few of those things, and they just caused me a lot more stress and anxiety, actually, to be honest, and some financial pain. Um, Mainly with the gyms was I injured my back, and I virtually had to walk away from that franchise. So that was pretty early on. Um, but over the years, as a chippy, I'd worked with some amazing builders, some amazing crew. Um, but one of the things that I never quite knew how to articulate it or what the phenomenon was, but on-site culture was a really destructive thing,
Mm.
and I'd seen that many, many times in many different situations and scenarios, as a subcontractor, as an employee, and a lot of challenges could be resolved with communication. And one of the things that I thought I discovered since kind of getting off the tools was the power of our mindset. Um, and I've been fascinated with how the brain works, pretty much fascinated with how everything works. um, and one of the things that I was passionate about years ago was using Lego as obviously as a toy as a child. Um, but one of the things I was introduced to quite a while ago got me thinking how Lego could be used as a way of connecting people. And a really good business coach interrupted one of my many big, big harebrained business ideas and said, "Well, where are you in this big picture?" Um, and the thing that I really was excited about was connecting people through color and play and um, interrupting the normal conversations that people have, because the normal conversations have expected outcomes, or the same similar patterns of outcomes that might not be working. So to be able to interrupt those would be really valuable. And the the magic of play is that it does it in a way that's not as confronting.
Yeah, that's something that I'd like to delve into because it's uh, one of the things that we talk about in Builders Business Black Belt is having a vision for the team. And, conceptually, great idea. What tends to happen is that our black belt member goes away and goes, well, what could be my vision for the team? And many years ago, I just came up with an example. Well, what could it be? And since then, it's kind of stuck as, why bother coming up with another one when this one will work quite well? And we just call it the 3F. So we have a vision for our team where we would like to have more flexibility. So why do we need to be constrained with starting at normal start time and finishing at normal finish time that the building industry has done forever? Is there another way of doing it? So can we introduce flexibility into our thinking? Can we eliminate any financial stress? So can we create financial security? So first one was flexibility, second one was financial security, and the third one was fun. Is there any reason that we can't make everything that we do fun? And the members that have introduced that can tell you that it does have a profound effect on the team, as far as it becoming a team. Communication goes up, loyalty goes up, imagination and contribution to the improvement of how the business works increases, because fun is an option. So, like, is that part of your thinking when you're using Lego and color and story and just to change people's thinking? Is that is part of that to create improvement in people's lives and in people's businesses?
Yeah, it is certainly an element. I mean, the humble brick. Um, some people are familiar with it as a toy, um, but the power of the brick in the way I use it is as a metaphor, and that can bring out many layers of meaning for people. Um, Now, I got distracted with articulating what the bricks represent, right? Um,
See what happens when you pull out a brick?
yeah, yeah.
You did
So
say it was like a pattern interrupt. You've just proven it to everybody.
yes,
And no
yeah,
one's immune to it.
yeah. No one's immune to it, and um, the beauty of it is that this humble brick becomes a new language, right? Now we all speak similar language, right? But when we use the brick as a metaphor and it's a new experience, everyone has a whole new experience of communicating via this tool, right? And it kind of creates a level playing field, pun intended, a level playing field in the room, because you'll have a hierarchy, you'll have experience levels. I'm talking in the trade or in the business. You've got all those different phenomenon going on. But when you introduce the brick, it equals the playing field, and then people start to communicate authentically, and maybe start to articulate things that they've had difficulty in articulating before. And that's where the magic of the play happens for adults.
Hmm. So can you run us through, if me and my imaginary friends were sitting with you and we're experiencing uh, a conversation, or I don't know whether you might call it a workshop or an experience or what have you, and you are running us through how you help us think differently and analyze things differently using Lego, what would we experience? What would be our experience?
Well, if I was doing a one-on-one workshop with you, or
Yeah.
what I call a discovery session one-on-one with you, I would first set you up with a set of Lego if you don't have access to one.
Yeah.
So, like a pencil case of specifically mixed pieces. So I'd set you up with that in advance. Then the power of it is all in the context. So first is getting you familiar with the rules of engagement. So I'll talk about the etiquette of this method of play. Um, the, um, the the method is loosely around what's called Lego serious play materials and methodology, which is being used more in a corporate kind of scenario. Um, and my good business coach suggested that I find some kind of accreditation or formal training in delivering my concept. And when I did the training for Lego Serious Play, it just affirmed that I was on the right track. Um, but my method is kind of a bit of a variation on that. Effectively, it looks like you're just building stuff, right, to a concept or a sentence. And then I'll kind of stop you from having a meeting with yourself and just keeping your hands busy. And then it's effectively show and tell. And I'll keep asking questions about what you've built to help you find or articulate the deeper meaning that's hidden in what you've built. Um, now, the, the the trick is for me to create the space for this to happen in a powerful way.